Hello! Hello, Internet people! 'Tis I, Ari David, and you are here for Destined for Failure, a Twitch stream in which I play Destiny badly. Let's get right to it, because I got a bounty that's about to expire in 8 minutes, so I should load into a Gambit match real quick. Hey, Artistic! Welcome aboard. So obviously, we're in good moods right now, because Sunday, I did a surprise stream. I did an extra stream on Friday into Saturday early morning. And that was like a push, because I was super close to hitting Twitch affiliate. And there was some shenanigans with like my Saturday streams either not getting counted or there was a delay, so I streamed Sunday as well. And towards the end of the stream, I did it. We did it. I'm here. I am in the process of being onboarded as a Twitch affiliate, which means they're going over my tax crap. So I'm not an affiliate yet, but I've qualified, and they're just going through my paperwork. He did. That's incredibly cool of Greg. I was wondering why all my videos suddenly had views. Yeah, you know, I'm lucky. I have you folks here who come in and join me during the. It just occurred to me I'm playing Gambit and I got the wrong shoes on. There we go. I was wondering why people had watched my videos. It came out of nowhere. I wasn't expecting it. And so, that was cool. I'll have to thank Greg. We've been talking a bunch. I guess he got excited yesterday because we were texting back and forth for a while. He was giving me all sorts of handy advice, which is going to guide me forward, hopefully smoothly transition into the part of Twitch streaming where I start monetizing. So it's obviously figuring out, what do I monetize? What do I offer you with subscriptions? What is not ripping you people off? Because obviously that's it's cool that you're here. I did finally do my homework, and I've been watching all the Twitch creator bootcamp stuff and figuring out like what the hell it means to actually take Twitch seriously and not just film yourself playing video games. So, good news is, apparently I'm already doing a lot of the right stuff. The idea of creating a safe community or having people involved in a kind of an inside, little group, that I'm all for. So that I'm going to keep doing. Keep fostering the kind of cool group of people that we've had. Craig sent me like a text today. He's like, be prepared to ban people, just emotionally ready yourself. I'm ready. I am very serious about this place being safe. If anyone feels uncomfortable by someone else in the chat or something I said, let me know. Either write in the chat or send me a private message or whatever. I don't give a flying fuck. This place is this channel's for chillness. Oh, it is ready. I've got it shiny and ready for troll blood. I don't have any fucking time for that. I've cut people in my life I actually care about out because of this shit. So if some internet stranger thinks they're gonna come on my channel and start some crap, and I'm just gonna let it slide, they got another thing coming. Hola, werecat. Well, that's awesome that you're on a road trip. If you get a chance, I'm curious where you're going, but otherwise I totally get it. But that's cool. Road trips are cool. Be safe. Masks and so forth. I had to fix my beard before coming on here because I was wearing a mask. We had someone in our home for the first time since the COVID shit started. So, long-term plans regarding this channel. Now that I'm doing this is happening. I'm affiliating with Twitch. I am now affiliating with them. I danced with the devil in the pale moonlight. That was the Batman reference. Oh, but doesn't have to be glamorous, but that sounds like a great fucking night. Scott Pilgrim plus the new Bill and Ted. If you haven't seen the new Bill and Ted Werecat, you're in for goodness. I could not have been... I bought it on an impulse because I love Bill and Ted, if it wasn't clear. You're gonna have a great time. Enjoy. And Scott Pilgrim, I mean, Edgar Wright is fantastic. Hey, Redbeard. What's up, man? Yeah, that sounds great. It's like, oh, nowhere fancy. I'm just having a super cool date. Yeah, very similar feel-good nerd vibes. You'll have a good time. I've been on an Edgar Wright kick recently. Alright, good luck. Thanks for chiming in, Werecat. Enjoy. Don't worry about it, Redbeard. I took it as the letter R. That would not be the most egregious misspelling or mispronunciation of my name in my life. It's the internet. Don't worry about it. We're all friends here. This other team is smoking us. So, true to form, destined for failure, coming out of the gate strong. That's really interesting. It took Scott Pilgrim is a movie. It took some warming up for me, even though oh wow, yeah, it's a tough spelling, Braden. Even though I'm a huge Edgar Wright fan, I firmly believe Hot Fuzz is one of the just the best action comedies ever made. Excuse me while I take out this special guy for my team. Don't mess with the kid. Fuck, if I forgot where I was going, I was so in the zone with that. We were talking about name mispronunciations, and Bill and Ted was involved. Oh, Scott Pilgrim. We're talking about how we feel about Scott Pilgrim. Yeah. I haven't seen Baby Driver yet either. I really want to. I'm actually rewatching Spaced for the 9 bajillionth time right now. The show that began it all. Space is freaking rad. You know, it's interesting that you say that. Some movies aren't that great the first time through. Not everyone's willing to forgive a movie and give it a second chance. Oh, well, I get that. You either get what he's doing with the fucking Bond spoof, or you don't. And, like, it takes a while to realize that you're supposed to be really laughing at and not with Austin Powers. Like, he's not an aspirational figure. The third Austin Powers movie will never be named again. It didn't happen, just like there are only 3 Indiana Jones movies. And I don't know. I don't want to argue about Star Wars right now, because everybody has an opinion. But X amount of Star Wars movies are all that exists. Put in your preferred number. So yeah, I'm not an affiliate yet, just because I'm like being reviewed. They're doing all my taxi stuff. Oh, 3 is a good number. Everything happens in 3s, but the third Austin Powers movie is awful. It's just dog shit. Oh yeah, I'm not worried about that. I'm just mentioning. I guess I'm mentioning, keeping you posted where I'm at, and letting you know why I haven't already started offering. Oh, gotcha, Redbeard. Yeah. If I'm with you, says 3 is mine. I look. I'll be the old man in the room. I like A New Hope through Return of the Jedi. I have warmed up to the prequel trilogy, but that's only because I was so mad with how the new trilogy ended. I didn't hate Force Awakens. I liked about half of The Last Jedi, and then they didn't end the trilogy. Like, Disney just pulled out in the last minute. It was really weird. It would have been nice to see them finish that trilogy. See, I was just old enough that when the prequels came out, I realized that they weren't as good as the original Star Wars movies. So I was, like, fucking crestfallen. I remember walking out of the theater, I think I was like 12 when The Phantom Menace came out. And I mean, probably one of my earliest memories as a human being is being 3 years old and given the VHS box set for the original, no special edition versions of Star Wars. And I just remember thinking that wasn't... What the fuck was Jar Jar? And yes, I cursed at 12. I curse all the time. You like the ones with Spock. Good one, Manly. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, if Pat ever comes on, you and he can talk about the Darth Jar Jar theory. When we were roommates, that was when that first kind of proliferated on the internet, and we both love that idea. Let me tell you what warmed me up to the prequels. It was Dave Filoni's animated stuff. The Clone Wars series and the Rebels cartoon show. They really did a lot to flesh out what was a very rushed political game. George Lucas was trying to tell a very dense political story, and it was really weird that the trilogy rushed through it in the way it did. But watching the cartoon shows adds a lot. It took me some convincing. Like, a lot of... I had two roommates for, like, half a year yak my ear off about the Clone Wars to finally get me to watch it. And, I took all my words back. There are definitely some clunker episodes early on. And the decision to tell the entire TV show out of chronological order is baffling. But even Star Wars recognized it, and if you go to StarWars.com, they have an official chronological viewing order for the episodes of the Clone Wars. And I recently did that. I, too, wanted Rey to be a Kenobi, and they thought about it, and because they had fucking ADD with the sequel trilogy, they switched between 15 different plot lines, and that's why She mattered. She didn't matter. She mattered again because she was a Palpatine. Yeah, go to the website I work for, CBR. We've written articles about it. I'll plug. I'm a corporate shill. Look at me. I'm on Twitch. This is an Amazon. This is an Amazon joint.
Your allies invading the other side.
I've given in. The Mohawk's a lie. I'm not punk. I want to be. But here I am, working for the man. Thank you, Twitch, for giving me a platform to play video games. Well, you're going to get that in Extended Universe. I hope so, Cud. That's what I hope. They are doing a new era. There's like a storytelling initiative in Lucasfilm called the High Republic, which is like 400 years before the movies, and it's gonna show like Yoda in his prime and shit. There's gonna be a bunch of books and comics. That's the next big kind of extended universe push. So you may get a chance to see some of the some old stuff. And there are rumors, I mean, there's forever been rumors, but like there's rumors of a Knights of the Old Republic TV show, which if they had any sense they would do. Yeah, everybody wants the Knights of the Old Republic timeline. The fact that there isn't a proper Knights of the Old Republic 3 is a crime. The Old Republic, like the MMO, I played for a while and it was interesting, but it didn't keep me. Again, the only MMO that has consistently kept me is this stupid fucking ADD Twitch fest. Yeah, Cud. I mean, it's not that hard to beat Game of Thrones after the first 3 seasons. Everything post Red Wedding is just... and it's true about the books, too. Fight me. I really think the books went downhill after the 3rd one. And I've read them all. But KOTOR would be awesome. We're getting our Obi-Wan show. I'm really glad they announced it's 1 season. That's great. Haha! At least I killed that son of a bitch. At least I killed that son of a bitch. Alright, so that got me my like, oh no, the bounty's gonna go away thing done. Of course we got stomped. We were down a person. I didn't even notice. Alright, so that's done. What are we doing? What are we doing? Let's wait for Destiny to catch up. I haven't read that. I'll have to check out. Is that fantasy? Mistborn? It sounds fantasy. I play D&D, so what am I going to act like I don't like fantasy? Oh man, they are amazing. High praise. That's high praise. Alright. Mistborn series. I got a lot on my reading docket right now, but I'll add that to my list. Oh, that sounds like my jam. Alright, so let's do... Fuck it. Let's do the Contact Public event. Let's get the weekly thing done. So I don't gotta worry about that anymore. Contact is here. Everyone tells me to listen to audiobooks. I'll be honest, I've never listened to an audiobook in my life. So, and it's not like some elitism snobbery thing. I have nothing against them, but I don't commute anymore. If I was still taking the subway to like work, I would do that. But ever since I've switched careers to freelance writing, I work from home, so I like stopped listening to podcasts too because I can't divvy up my attention when I'm writing. It's not. I can listen to music. I buy that. I mean, it's that nostalgia thing. Will Wheaton is very much. He's the same generation as Ernie Klein. Like, I can see why that would work. Interesting.
Is that why you need some noble vocation?
Just a show. Just.
Yeah, well, I'm sure that was why he agreed to do it. Will Wheaton loves Will Wheaton. I like that guy. But he's a big fan of Will Wheaton. Yeah, mainly Vibes is off living Jeremiah Johnson life. Like,
Protect the contraption.
I'm amazed you have internet the way you describe your life. Yeah, we just had to go hunt down that pack of wolves on my property. I took them out with my axe. It's my wolf axe. And now this is where Mainly goes, nah, I got a gun for that. I'm learning my audience. See? What did I say? He has a wolf rifle. I knew it. See, as long as it's not for sport, if you're using the animal properly and you're treating it with dignity, like, I'm not a vegetarian. I love animals. I love animals to death. But, you know, we're omnivores. We're part of an ecosystem. We were hunters. They hunt. Circle of life. It's uncomfortable to confront at times, but it's a fact. But if you're, you know, doing it out of necessity, I don't like people that hunt animals, stuff, and mount them. I'll be straightforward. I think that that's super gross. But, you know, hunting, we developed hunting skills for a reason. Like, we had to survive, and there's still parts of the world where that's necessary. So... See, Mainly, I respect that. I can get behind that. Again, I am Cud. You two are cool. Super cool. Like, that I can wrap my head around. But killing just so you can say, haha, look, I murdered something. Like, it doesn't make you awesome in my eyes. I say firing digital guns, blowing up alien robots. Cognitive dissonance is fun. I mean, yeah. Hi, Redbeard, that's cool. If you use the animal and it's out of respect, I mean, yeah. But a lot of these people who do that, who make the trophies, they're not like that. You know, nothing's an absolute. Let's be clear. You know, that's good to point out, Red. There's always an exception. There's always... To speak in absolutes is a bad thing in general. Just for the trophy is no bueno. But, if, like, you're doing it out of veneration for the animal with which you harvest it, that's a different story. Interesting. Interesting crowd I got. Very, very huntery. It's different than me. I'm a city boy. You gotta understand, I'm in Brooklyn. And then I grew up in the suburbs of New Jersey. So, like, I didn't really start camping and hiking until I was an adult. I like that stuff. Lady friend and I, we like to go on climbing mountains and camping trips and what have you. But, well, I like hearing that. Diverse is good, but I'm glad I'm not in any uncomfortable situations right now. You folks seem pretty chill. Fair enough. I'm starting to look like less nerdier, but it's like the mohawk and the lip ring and shit. I'm really nerdy, but like I dress. Now I straight up look like a punk. But I had a friend who, for a long time, would either call me his meth dealer, or like I was in a '60s heist film. That's how he said I dressed. I guess garage rock. I wear skinny jeans and like I was telling him last stream, I do the Albert Einstein trick. I wear the same fucking, like, this isn't the same white V-neck. I have a million white V-necks, and I just don't think about what I wear unless I'm about to appear on Greg's stream, because he hates V-necks and he wants to see me put in a little effort. So I wear shirts for his show. I have shirts. But like, if this is when I'm not streaming with you folks, I work from home as a writer, and this is what I wear. I wake up every day, I put on the same thing. You know, Cud, that is fair. There is a stereotype of the right-wing hunter. It's just, honestly, it's the shitty politics of NRA getting in the way of something that's bigger. Hunting is not it shouldn't be a political thing. It was a necessary tool we developed to survive as a species. NRA is shit. Exactly. Fuck them. Mainly, you're cool.
I know enough to say Ashramir is wrong. Spill. He theorized several versions of their composition, destructive.
Oh, artistic. I didn't start getting outdoorsy until I was an adult. Both my parents are nerds. I'm a second generation nerd. Again, right-wing people are welcome here on my channel. I have nothing against my dad. Up until very recently, was a Republican. And I would still describe him as a conservative. But he and I get along great. Yeah, no, I just want to specify. I don't want to get bashing too much. I don't have a problem with people on the right. I really do believe in democracy and, like, one person, one vote, and let's, like, work together and shit. And I think we had a long conversation on one of my streams about how conflict's the only way we get better. And conflict doesn't necessarily mean violence. We just got to learn how to talk to people. I think we all forgot how to talk to each other. Exactly, I am Cud. Again, the paradox of intolerance. The notion that the only thing you can be intolerant of is intolerance. If you tolerate intolerance, it invariably overpowers you, and then, whoops, you're taken over by a bunch of douchebags. Because intolerant people are belligerent and beyond reason. It's not a logical thing. Whoa. I think that's my first spam. Give my sheets 22. BigFollows.com. Big Follows. Title of my sex tape. Jesus, mainly. Come move to Maine, it's great. Several knife attacks. I shouldn't be talking. I live in New York City. I've survived mugging attempts. I've been in weirdness. Like, you don't live in New York City without... Look, New York City can be a tough place. It's also one of the coolest cities in the world. I've lived here... Yeah, that's my first spam. I don't even want to block it. I kind of want to see it again. That's how you know I'm making it. That's funny. So I have plans. Speaking of making it, subscription-wise, subscribers are going to get emotes. I will do that. I'm not sure what else I can offer subscribers. But I'm working that out. There have been requests for a Discord server. I am setting that up. It's setting up the way that's gonna work. And again, I'm taking my cues from Greg, but obviously scaling back because I am not 1.2 million YouTube followers. How to Drink Greg Tishin. I am 54 followers on Twitch and 1 subscriber on YouTube, Ari. So I'm not gonna be I'm not gonna try and nickel and dime people, but I have an opportunity here, which is cool. So the game plan is the Discord server will have a very small pay gate. I'm gonna set up a Patreon and like $2. It'll get you into the Discord server. What I want to do with the Discord server is keep this good community going. The thing I have learned in my brief time on Twitch is that it's all about gathering groups of people together that wouldn't have otherwise met and, you know, finding some connection in this horribly socially distanced world we live in. I enjoy talking to you folks. I enjoy hearing about your stuff, so we don't have to limit that to the streams. And people want to share photos and things, and that's hard to do on Twitch, so the Discord server will be for that. In addition, I write for a living, and oh yeah, I am cut earlier today. I was mentioning Greg literally texted me this morning. He's like, be prepared to kick people out. Just mentally prepare yourself. Don't be afraid to do it. I'm not. I'm really not. I like the banhammer. That is in my chat rules. Don't be a troll. Stick to your bridges. No hate speech. No abusive behaviors. Be excellent to each other. Party on, dudes. I mean it. If I'm out of line for some reason, please let me know. I take that shit really seriously. And that's not just a Twitch cover my ass thing. That's just me as a person. Very much so, I am cut. Wise words. So yeah, so I'm gonna, the Discord server will be up as soon as I hit affiliate officially. I didn't want to start doing any of the, I mean, technically I could have set up the Patreon and done all that, but I didn't want to start doing any of the nice, Manly. You're not a real troll. Maybe a mythological one. I don't know what you look like. And I watch What We Do in the Shadows, so, like, you could, like... There's no saying that a troll couldn't run a dispensary. But yeah, so hopefully that Discord will be cool. I do a lot of, like... I write pop culture coverage articles for a living, but I am an aspiring fiction writer of my own. I went to film school with Greg. I have screenplays and shit, all that stuff. So, I have a website. There was a blog on it. I used it one time when I first set up the website, because then I got lucky. I got that job with Comic Book Resources, and they've been really cool. And I've been writing for them, so I just haven't got back around to it. But I guess also as an incentive for me to get writing again, one of the things I'm going to offer on my Discord server is kind of like early access to any prose writing that I put up on my website. So if people feel like reading, it'll probably be a lot of science fiction and horror and crime and maybe some comedy. That tends to be what I write. But I'll start doing, I don't know, short stories, serialized stuff, and put it on my website. And I'll let people on the Discord server get to see it first. And hopefully that's something you folks are interested in. Oh, awesome topics are there. Awesome topics are there. I have many channels. I have a not safe for work channel. I'm reading plenty of Stephen King. But like I said, mainly my parents, they're of retirement age and they're laying hints because they're asking like when I eventually move out of the city, which I'm not going to live here forever. It's a good place to be while you're young. It's not a good place to raise a family, and it's not a good place to get old in. But I will say New York City if you're in your prime and you like being in the hustle, it's really fun. So we'll have a not safe for work text channel where mainly you can share all your weed stuff. I've seen the movie Heavy Metal. That's a really funny story. So my dad is a really pretty straight-laced guy, even though he's a nerd. And the way we bonded, he worked long hours. He's a doctor. And the way we bonded when I was a kid is we would watch stuff together. He would always push the boundaries of what movies I saw. So I would be watching Bill and Ted, and he'd wait for me to finish and be like, okay, now I'm going to go put on Spartacus. And Heavy Metal is a classic. So getting to that point, my dad also had a really bad habit of showing me things that I was maybe a little too young for. And Heavy Metal was one of them. I think I was 12 or 13, and my dad rented it from Blockbuster. And he's like, all right, check this out. And he shows me fucking Heavy Metal, and my, early pubescent head exploded. Because we had seen, Fifth Element recently, and he goes, oh, Fifth Element's just ripping off Heavy Metal. That was what my dad was saying. I think I saw Ninja Scroll at, the same age also. I too saw Ninja Scroll way too young. So yeah, I know Heavy Metal. My dad showed me A Clockwork Orange at 14, and then he sits there, pale as a ghost, like he wants to go to art school. When I mentioned I wanted him to go to film, I'm like, you kept showing me movies. My dad was the one who insisted that I learn who Akira Kurosawa was. And I'm like, you're surprised that I want to go into this now? It was how we bonded. He eventually got over it. I went to, a film summer camp when I was 17 to kind of prove to him, before I applied to film schools, I was like, look, I'm not joking around. Menagerie, Crucible Survival, Crucible Elimination. Oh, you hate me. You just want me to do... I don't want to do competitive Crucible. We're gonna go play Menagerie. I own Wizards on Blu-ray. Oh, you are my people. This is good. We can talk Wizards. Wizards is messed up, man. That movie's fucking rad. Ralph Bakshi took a lot of good drugs. Don't take drugs, kids. Stay in school. All right. I'm messing around. Everyone did. Everyone did. Well, that makes sense, Redbeard. I've never done the history on it, but I just remember my dad taking me to see Fifth Element as a kid. We watched it, and he was like, it was alright. They totally ripped off heavy metal. That was my dad. He was very adamant about that. Oh, yeah. The animated Lord of the Rings that Ralph Bakshi did's great. I mean, Fritz the Cat, that's a little controversial. That's a fun movie, too. Yeah, I am cut. I'm with you. Like, my dad sometimes likes to get a little snobberish with his cinephile nature. He doesn't like anything anymore. Every time he calls me, he asks me, "Is there anything worth watching?" I'm his gate now. Wizards is fun. It's definitely like parts of it are, exploitationist and weird, but the rotoscoping of like historical footage and the
We shall see whether your
Hey,
wits bring the day. The hive are an unimaginative people. I believe I can.
yeah. You gotta look. Don't take drugs, but I've taken psychedelics. Don't do drugs. And if you are the type of person that is okay with pushing comfort levels, I don't even straight vibrant red bud. What even is that? My experiences with psychedelics were cathartic in nature. Yeah, heavy metal is an acid movie. I don't tend to watch a lot when I'm tripping. I tend to like do stuff. I'm a pretty active tripper. Red colored marijuana. I mean, does it do anything different, or is it just red? Oh, I think I might have. I thought that was like something really crazy. I don't know. New York, you get what you can.
You grow mightier with every fight.
Oh my god. You folks. I'm loving you folks. For me, my infrequent use of psychedelics is definitely some kind of a cleansing thing. I definitely like it. I like when the chemicals mess with my perception of time, because it always gives me distance. If there's something bugging me in my life, I know my first trip happened after a really significant breakup, and anyone who hasn't tripped, this will sound ridiculous, but anybody who's tripped will know it put like 1,000 years between me and that relationship, and I felt like a new man coming out of it. So again, don't do drugs. Drugs are illegal. Don't do them. But yes, perspective is a wonderful gift, and realizing how malleable perspective is also something to keep in mind. And I like what I'm hearing, that I've got an audience of people that are open-minded enough to examine themselves. That's good stuff. Keep it up. Heavy Metal 2000 was interesting. I haven't seen Rock and Rule. I liked Heavy Metal 2000 because it had Billy Idol in it. I'll be honest. Yeah, but now you're a parent and you're doing the responsible thing. So thank you for being a good parent. And now that I'm a parent, I microdose my kid on a daily basis. What? Ban hammer. That's the type of shit that'll get you banned. Don't give your kids drugs. Okay? That's weird. And very illegal. Now you're on a fungus hunt. That's great. I gotta be honest, and maybe this is my own perception. Yep. Thank you, Manly. Spell it out. I am surprised at just the depth of demographics that are on Twitch. I like learning not just how many of my viewers are my age, but that are also older than me or younger than me, has been like very eye-opening. There's a lot more people from a lot broader swaths of life using Twitch than I realized. Listen to I Am Cud, please. If you're gonna be crazy responsibly. Like I mentioned, I did acid, but I had a Sherpa who was sober, who was looking after me the whole time. Don't trip alone, ever. That's a bad idea. And make sure you're in the right state of mind, but also don't do drugs, kids. Interesting. Uh-oh. We've got Greg Tishin here. The man, the myth, the legend has shown up. Now I'm the captain. Now you're on my show, Greg. Welcome. Thanks for checking in. Thanks for stopping in, bud. This is the first time he's shown up. He'll get his VIP marker. I kinda owe it. He's kinda owed one. You're in the shop shooting close-ups, entertaining it. Well, I'm working on it, man. Greg's advice was that I need to talk more. That I don't talk enough. Yeah, we have the Greg Tishin from How to Drink hanging out in chat with us, which is super damn cool. Thank you, friend, for stopping by. Cyberpunk is rad. For the record, I've said it. We've said it off air, but I'm gonna say it on air. I'm gonna compliment you again, Greg. You did a friggin' awesome. Yeah, but sometimes I get a little game focused. Count those seconds of silence. Exactly. It's death. It's death. Every single one of those seconds. Because people are like, what if people tune in and the only time they see you is those 3 minutes when you're not saying anything? Then they don't know. They don't know. They don't know about my wit and my charm and all the wonderful things that I do. But we were going to talk about Greg. Cyberpunk was rad. We did what we had initially planned on doing. And we all unanimously were like, we should just keep playing Cyberpunk. So we are. Which is super cool. Because that heist was the whole adventure. So as soon as we like dropped everything off at the safe house, that would have been like, and this was Cyberpunk, and then we. Well, that is possible. If you can get on Discord, I can get you. Like, I have Discord hooked up that it can come through on my chat. Well, first I gotta make an affiliate, then we can team stream. I'm part of the Greg Cinematic Universe, but if you felt like getting on Discord, we can make that happen, and you and I can chat Alright. One moment. Do we want to just meet on your server on the Greg is Live channel that we use for your stream? I can make that happen. There we go. We'll get a real guest spot. This is like getting the Colbert bump. Yeah, take your time. I'm in the middle of an activity. Don't worry. It's happening. I'm trying to get John into Destiny. He's expressed interest, so we may get John, aka Rabbit, aka Calric, to join us at one point. He hops in the chat every once in a while, and Ant has stopped by once or twice. But Liz doesn't like me. She's too busy being a lawyer. So Liz is fine. Liz is great. But I don't think she really uses Twitch beyond when we play. But again, she has a real grown-up job. She's a lawyer. I write about like movie trailers and shit for a living. She's like she has a kid and like a house. Right? Everything is coming up, Millhouse. It's gonna be a good day, Tater. That was a Ron White joke. I gotta give credit where credit's due. That wasn't my material. Fun fact about my life. This is an interesting factoid. My mother was a stand-up comedian in the 90s, and she was like almost legit. She literally got to the point where she had to choose between devoting time to her family or her career in comedy, and she picked family and like pissed off her comedy coach. But like, she was almost on Conan back when he was on NBC, and she went to a lot of comedy clubs in New York, and I remember being dragged to comedy clubs in New York and sitting in the back at like 7 years old, and the comedians would heckle me invariably. I wanted to be a veterinarian until this guy who wrote for Letterman, Eddie Brill, he took the piss out of me and was like, "Oh, you want to stick your finger up a cat's ass for the rest of your life?" And then all of a sudden I didn't want to be a vet anymore. No, it was not. My mom used to take me with her to improv training classes. So I was this little kid sitting in on like, you know, UCB style improv classes, and I would go to her comedy coach's apartment and like hang out with his kids while my mom's getting coached on her shit. Eddie Brill was wearing a sports jacket with shoulder pads, and I believe my mom did too, because it was the 90s. And everyone wanted to look like a triangle back then. It has to be. My mom is a wonderful BS artist. One moment, please, Sir Greg. And then I will respond to your call in Discord. I'm dead. Let's make it happen now. Alt-Tab! Greg! Hello. I don't hear you. I do not know why I don't hear you. My game could be incredibly loud, so let's figure that out first. Let's lower my game to something human. Oh my gosh. I don't know what's going on, Greg, but I'm not hearing. Maybe I'm having the audio go to the wrong place in Discord. Let me fiddle with settings. My teammates must be like, "What is he doing?" Yeah, that'll be the thing. Try talking now, Greg. Now I hear you. No, I got you now. Yeah, you're talking all right. I have you so low right now.
Did they hear me? Hi, guys.
Yeah, I think they can hear me.
Cool.
Oh, I can double hear myself. I'm echoing. All right. Is he still kind of quiet? Is he? I can make him even louder. Let me know if he gets. Let me know if he gets louder next time he talks. You can barely hear him. I will make this. I will fix this. Okay. I'm on it. I'm on it, my loyal audience. I promise. All right. I just cranked Greg up to. Yeah. Can everybody hear Greg? I cranked him up as much as I can.
Aha. Hold on. I know what I gotta do. I can't hear you. Hold on.
He can't hear me now. Look, we're the odd couple here. You have so many cables. About the same. Interesting. I can fix that. I didn't mean to do that. We're not done. We're not done. I clicked the wrong button. Well, he's muttering. That's why he's. But his levels should be coming in fine now.
Listen, is the audio looping? If I hold you at this volume, is the audio looping?
Yeah, I'm hearing myself. But audience.
Is the audio looping now?
No. I don't think I'm not really hearing myself now. Very minor. It's not matter. But the point is, you're better. People can hear you. Blah. I died. As soon as we get this settled, Greg and I we'll get into the nitty-gritty of Cyberpunk. And talk about literally anything.
So, okay, now that's working probably. Now I can hear you, right?
Yeah, can you hear me? Everything good?
Oh, okay,
all right.
There we go.
Oh, great. Perfect. Awesome. So yeah, Cyberpunk was freaking rad, man.
It's also looping into my ears a little bit, my own sound, but that's okay.
Oh, sorry to hear that. Good. Glad Greg is coming through clear. He's Greg from New Jersey. He stopped being Greg from New York. He's a traitor.
So what do you do in this game? What are you doing? Tell me what's going on.
So what I'm doing right now is I'm shooting an ogre. This is an event called the Menagerie. It is a team event that rotates different types of gameplay styles. It was introduced about a year ago. And you do it to, you can get curated gear rolls. Mostly it's like Diablo. So this game drops random gear all the time. And this is like one of the few events where you can curate what you're getting. I am doing it because it is related to a weekly quest. Oh yeah, look at my shiny zombie space wizard. Isn't he beautiful? He's a zombie space wizard.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Ari.
Yeah.
I think I know. Oh shit. So, let me ask you a question, Ari. Are you? Is your microphone hooked into the Discord as well? Because I'm hearing your stream, which is of course delayed.
It is. I can mute
my
myself.
communications are off by about a minute.
So hold on. I just muted myself. Yes, that is also my input. So now I shouldn't be talking through Discord.
No, it's fine. What I have to do is no. Don't do a thing. Don't do a thing.
Okay, I undid the thing I did. Oh well, there a hiss went away. We lost something. So I still got to do more Menagerie.
Yes.
More Menagerie. So the reason I'm doing Menagerie right now is it's part of a weekly quest that continues the seasonal storyline, which is how this game works. Basically, every year they do, like kind of like World of Warcraft, they do an expansion pack that adds a lot of new stuff to the game, and then they dole out content, kind of like Fortnite. They have a season pass, and they dole out story and gear over a course of a few months, and then they jump into another season with like new activities and shit. This one, unfortunately, has been drawn out because of COVID. They had to delay the release of the latest expansion by 2 months. So I should be 5 days into the new expansion already, but it's coming out November 10th instead.
Can you just confirm that you can hear me still?
I can confirm, Greg.
Okay.
I hear you. I do not see my own chat. I forgot to put Streamlab back up, but now it's here. Now I can see everyone.
Further question, now that I'm not listening to your stream, but I'm listening to the Discord, is the audio looping really badly if I take my headphones off?
No.
Okay,
No.
so then we're in good shape. This is
Yeah.
even better. I don't even need to have headphones on. You and I are just having a nice phone call.
Yeah.
Nice call.
Nice chat. I would say that there's distance on your voice, but like it's not your usual primo quality. But I'm glad to have you on on and chatting.
Well, I'm glad to be here. I'm talking into a boom mic that's over my head, and it's not optimally placed because it can't be. I can adjust it slightly because it won't be in the shot there. But yeah, it's definitely a little bit further mic'd than the normal setup. I'm going to be moving around a lot too.
Yeah, you're working and chatting.
I like that though. This is fun. This is a cool thing because now, and I tweeted about your stream. I don't know if anybody's showing up.
I appreciate it. I will say this: a lot more people watched my videos. I logged on today, and there were like a lot of views. So that must have been you, man.
No, I just tweeted a minute ago that people should get in here and check you out.
Oh shit! No, I'm about the same right now. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. I have to. I mean, this is going to be a thing that's going to be an occurrence here. So I have to go up to my kitchen. So I'll be back in 5 seconds. But we will keep this going if you can keep the chat open.
Oh yeah. This isn't a problem at all. This is how I normally do things.
Okay, cool. Let's do this. This is cool. We're doing cool stuff.
Yeah, I usually have. Yep, go for it. Yeah. So that's cool. We got Greg with us. What the fuck are we waiting on right now? Last person to load in, maybe? What's happening here? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we're waiting for one more person. This is a 6-person event. There we go. No, that guy just ran forward. I got excited. Let's get back to shredding. When in doubt, shred, folks. So yeah, that's cool. Glad we got Greg on. That was really cool of him to give me the boost. I am thoroughly enjoying Twitch streaming. This is not something I was expecting to do with myself, either casually or now even semi-professionally as I move into the Twitch affiliate world. But this is super cool. Right? So Guardians wield light. It's their magic. It's kind of like their force, and you can manifest it. Yeah, right? Neon guitar and a pile of gold. It doesn't get... Everyone left! They all bailed because this thing was glitched. And maybe they got tired of my guitar. Maybe it wasn't good. You can't hear what I'm playing. Like, there's no sound associated with it. So for all I know, that could have been some awful guitar music. So that was a bust. I don't know what happened. Some kind of glitch. Everyone bailed on that. So now we're back to matchmaking, which is fun. So I gotta I have to finish up Means to an End. I have to get Umbral Traces, which means I have to just kill a bunch of orange and yellow bar bad guys The red bar bad guys are super weak. They're like the goons. And orange and yellow bar bad guys are lieutenants and bosses, respectively. And they will drop umbral traces. And you can also get it from killing other guardians in Crucible, Survival, Elimination, or Trials of Osiris. But those are all the nightmarish competitive PvP modes, which I will just... You'll just watch 3 hours of me getting headshot every 5 seconds. It won't be fun. So Menagerie is the only PvE event that I can progress this quest forward with. Wow, now Greg is in his kitchen. Look at that.
Yeah. Why, you can hear sounds of like sloshing water and stuff?
I mean, I hear utensils.
Yes, so I just had to do some dishes.
It's fine. We can all listen to Greg do dishes. That's exciting.
It's exciting, the dishes. Oh god.
This is you as a normal man. Everybody just sees Greg as you like to project yourself on your stream. But here he is, a man, doing dishes.
Well, I'll tell you, honestly, I have done a number of streams from the bar of exactly what I'm doing right now, and I actually kind of consider doing that. Doing like the behind-the-scenes look at the close-up creation. I've done that a lot of times. I'm not doing that on this one because I'm keeping this episode sort of a secret. Although I can happily describe to you the drinks that I'm making.
Oh, by all means. Spoiler alerts for how to drink. You heard it here, folks. It's all happening here
It does
first.
get hot in the box that I make my show in that my pop built. It's hot there.
Your garage, you mean?
Right, in the box where I make my show, it gets hot. That's a reference that is so early in the series that it might actually be going even over your head.
No, the box that my pop built, it's from something I watched. I know it is. I just don't remember what you're referencing.
It's okay. Yeah, I'm working on the Dock Tales from Venture Brothers.
Oh, yes. In the box that my dad built. Yeah, the sleeping beds. Of course.
I learned in a box. It's hot in the box.
That my dad built. So Greg got onto Dock Tales, and he had watched season 1, and he messaged me, and he's like, "Is Venture Brothers good?" And oh boy, that hit off like one of my nerd triggers, because that's like literally one of my favorite shows.
I said, "Is it good?" I thought I asked for. Okay, is that
well, no, you asked beyond season 1, because that was all you had seen.
Okay.
You had asked, you weren't implying that it was bad, you were asking me because you were curious. You were like, is this something I should invest time in? And then I said yes, emphatically.
Yeah. It's crazy looking at the quality of animation between season 1 and like the later seasons. Like I was watching later content in researching these Dock Tales, because I don't think they're already Dock Tales. The first Dock Tale shows up in season 3.
Yeah, it's a joke that develops later on.
Right, and so I was looking at all this later footage, and then the other night, my wife will sometimes turn on a TV show while she's falling asleep, and she's like, "What was that gross cartoon you were watching?" And I was like, "Oh, you mean the Venture Brothers?" She's like, "Yeah, let's put that on." I was like, "You actually want to watch that?" And she was like, "Yeah." And of course, true to form, she fell asleep in about 3 minutes. But so I was watching season 1 again for kind of the first time. I was like, "Wow, the animation like leaps and bounds!" Like,
well, yeah, because they had a staff. Season 1, it was like 3 people in a box.
Right. Yeah. In a hot box, yes. And I assume being animated in something like probably given 2004, like is it Flash? Like it
was basically Flash animation. Yes, that's not far off. And basically, one guy did most of the animation, the other guy did most of the editing. They both split vocal and writing duties, and that's kind of how the show worked. And then they were able to hire artists. Yeah. And they do everything in New York, which is why they eventually switched the show to New York. They are a New York-based group. So I was able to like see. Oh wow, I'm totally gonna bite the bullet. I was able to see Doc and Jackson, the 2 creators of the show, speak at New York Comic Con, which was really fun.
That's cool.
Yeah, they shared, like, someone asked them what were lines they could fit into the show that they haven't found a way to, and they desperately want to reference the Cars song "Just What I Needed," and
Oh, nice.
they don't know why, but they want Hank to be able to say, "Stop wasting all my time." And but they haven't been able to find a way to organically fit "Stop wasting all my time" in. But the problem is that entered my brain as like an earworm, and I say it, and no one knows what the fuck I'm talking about, because it's only if you attended New York Comic Con in 2010 and went to the Venture Brothers panel and you heard them talk about it. Like,
That's funny.
I have a bad habit of doing that, Greg.
Stop wasting all my time. Now it's in my head, and I'm in on the joke. And we
Yep.
can have that joke. That'll be
Now
the
everybody has it. Us 17, us lucky people watching this.
here from now on forever. Just you and me, you beautiful soul. I was gonna say, one thing that stinks about this that would be really cool is that I could do, would be fun, but I can't. But I'll explain why. I could do color commentary on the game that I'm watching as I'm working here, but my view is your actual screen, and therefore it is way out of sync. So anything I say will be way
Right.
delayed.
Yeah,
so
there's like a 10-second delay or something.
that's at least 10 seconds. I think it's probably longer than that. I see that you're a pharaoh, and the pharaoh is running through the space magician fort with his machine gun.
That's amazing. I love when people who don't understand because
Oh, he threw lightning from his fists and is now teleporting. Oh, he has become fire. He is the soul of fire.
this is brilliant. I love it.
But it's very
I like
delayed.
when no one understands what's happening in Destiny. Bungie spent a lot of time developing lore.
Just going off the pictures. He's jumping through the hoops. He's gotten 3 points for going through the hoops.
It's like I'm on American Ninja Warrior or something. I feel special.
I have to go turn on this camera.
I died. I mean, the cars are cool. To be
Cars are
clear,
fucking great.
the cars are cool. Like there's a reason that line's great. And if people aren't watching Venture Brothers, what are you doing with your life? It's on HBO Max. Go watch it. It's on.
The cars are super cool. I really like the cars. Rick Ocasek is a very cool guy.
He is a cool guy.
I think he died.
You might have. I don't know.
And what you guys can't hear, if you hear me grunting, I am manipulating a very heavy camera robot by brute force.
Yeah, he's not doing anything gross.
Well, I mean, I didn't explain how I was manipulating the camera robot. I mean,
Via Kegels.
don't. Oh, Jesus. What? Oh, gee.
Welcome to my show.
Alright.
Instant regret. So yeah, as soon as I get processed, Greg and I have talked about doing watch parties together.
Yep.
Where we
You
will...
can do a watch party as an affiliate right now?
Well, I'm being processed.
But as before you're an affiliate, you don't have access to watch parties? I don't know.
It's like an affiliate to like host them. Yeah, it's an affiliate feature.
I was just checking last night to see if Forbidden Zone is still available on Prime, because I thought that'd be a good watch party film. But it's not. Are you familiar with Forbidden Zone?
I am not, which would probably make it even better.
Oh my god, dude. I don't know, you would either love it or you would love it. It's,
I love it or hate it, I'll have a good time. I like Mystery Science Theater 3000. I like making fun of movies.
So, Forbidden Zone, for your audience who doesn't know.
Oh,
is a
please,
very
and for
much-
me.
And for you. No, I don't want you to hear. Turn your listen. No, but for everybody who it's Forbidden Zone is a movie that was made, I think, in like 1981 or 82.
Oh boy.
By Danny Elfman's brother. It is a film of. It is basically a weird midnight movie, like grindhouse nightmare fever dream made by the Sacred Order of the Oingo Boingo.
Oh my god.
So that Danny Elfman could get his first. I mean, it's like literally what the purpose of the movie is. Just
So he
that
could get
Danny
his
Elfman-
first credit.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, well, that's the thing about the entertainment industry that most people don't realize. It's a catch-22. You have to get
Right.
in to get in. Oh, hey! Thanks for follow. Appreciate it.
Yeah, and it is a insane movie. It is absolutely.
Oh, I love batshit crazy.
It's also really offensive. Like, there's a lot of jokes in it that like you watch now, and you're like, I don't know, like that. Oh no, don't play that anymore. So.
Thanks for the follow. Also, on Zwardaban. I want to say I said that right. I'm gonna butcher everyone's screen names.
The plot is that the family buys a house from a guy who was a pimp, only to discover that the house has a porthole to the Forbidden Zone inside of its refrigerator.
This sound. I'm not gonna lie, Greg. This sounds like something our old teacher Roy would have written.
Roy would have loved it.
Yeah.
I don't discuss Roy anymore, though.
We don't. No. For reasons.
Like his name is stricken from the record.
Yep, that was the first and last time. I had to be said once.
It's fair. I mean, it is definitely.
No,
honestly,
but you're also right.
Right, like, but I was gonna also say too is that like it's something that honestly I don't think he would like. I think he would be aware of it and have a weird appreciation for it. But he
would get jealous or something.
No, but he like took like what he would refer to as exploitation film very seriously. Like,
yes,
it wasn't.
Street Trash was serious work for him.
Well, and also like I was a little shocked. I didn't realize how serious he had what he perceived to be a very serious and real rivalry with the Kaufman guy who runs Troma. Like,
and he thought he hated the Troma. Yeah, that was a whole thing. We're talking about a screenwriting teacher who, to be fair, got Me Too'd, and he deserved it.
Very much. Yeah, no, we talked about him in my stream the other day. I saw about how weird it was to see one of my
in the New York Times.
In the New York Times.
Yeah, that was fucking weird. Like, that dude has given me coverage on my script, and I feel really weird now.
Yeah, for sure.
But
I have to step out for a second.
Fair enough.
I'm only partially costumed, but I'll be directly back. And I'm only letting you know this because you can't see what I'm doing. If you could see me leaving, I would just give you the finger and walk away.
I'm gonna take a wild guess, but he's probably got himself a speed suit. Because Greg has fallen for Venture Brothers, and he also texted me about a speed suit. He's like, I wish I could do this in a speed suit. Which, by the way, is a short-sleeve jumpsuit for anybody who doesn't watch Venture Brothers. So there, I spoiled it while he was away from camera. Although I have no confirmation. But I am really good at guessing the plots of movies to the point that my girlfriend doesn't let me talk during movies. So,
No, I don't have a speed suit.
Damn it. You could do Brock Sampson easy if you had a mullet.
I wasn't wearing the watch that I needed to be wearing for these close-ups.
Oh. Okay.
Continuity thing.
Alright, take it easy, Manly. Thanks for stopping by, as always. Don't get attacked by any wolves.
Now I'm sticking memory cards into my camera and reformatting them.
That's real work. He has, like, a real studio. I just have the crap he sent me. And my ancient gaming machine. Which...
Yeah, you know what? I was just... Man, this is some... hold on a second. I gotta pull my shot list up. Else I'm gonna be in trouble.
Alright.
But I was just gonna say, I was just on Twitter trying to figure out what's going on with our cameras always going out of sync, and how frustrating I find that.
Right, our Skype call on the show, yeah.
Yeah, and I think that it's just I'm overloading the GPU. I just don't think I have enough bandwidth.
So you think you need to cut... What could you put on another computer that would make sense?
Well, no, that's the thing. Ultimately, everything that's in our stream has to be rendered by the GPU. It's on screen. It has to be, right? So ultimately, there's a bottle somewhere along the line. We just need a monster to handle this.
So you need to. I mean, you need to build like a dual video card, like render beast, basically.
Yeah. So my two options. Well, one. Now that I know how to, I mean, this is going to sound stupid, but it's actually not readily apparent. Now that I know how to monitor GPU usage that's weird. Okay, there we go. Now that I know how to monitor the GPU usage from the, I can't think. From...
You're catching him out is great. That would probably be my internet, I am Cud. Unfortunately, I have Brooklyn internet. Good, thank you, and thank you for letting me know. I want to know when there's tech issues.
I was gonna say you did startle out there.
Yeah, my internet comes and goes. I am hardwired, but I live in like my building's I live in a pre-World War II, 122 unit apartment building in Brooklyn. Like shit's old. I'm lucky I got internet. Like when the Optimum guy was fucking with me when he was setting it up. The cables were so old. He was like making comments about it, and then he looks at me after he's messing with it, and he goes, "I don't think we can wire your apartment. It's so old." And I'm like, "What?" Like, cause he saw all my gaming shit, and so he's like, "I'm like, what?" He goes, "Nah, I'm fucking with you. You're set up. You're fine." Optimum guy getting his daily dose of Schadenfreude.
Schadenfreude.
Yeah, probably an upload limit. Something happened.
What's your encoder settings like, bro?
Optimized for Destiny 2 via Streamlabs.
Oh, you're using slobs. I don't
Yeah.
actually know anything about slobs.
They have some presets and they do optimizations, and I'm also not running Destiny 2 at the absolute max that it could be run at. To help with that. But one of the goals of being an affiliate, I am going to put any money I get from Twitch towards improving the Twitch experience. So, big part of that is upgrading my machine. Greg has been giving me really good advice on cameras. So, up my camera game. So, slowly but surely, if y'all choose to invest, I will put it to good use.
Yeah, man, for sure.
But it's cool. I honestly, I feel like I hit affiliate really quick. I definitely have your show to thank for that, Greg. But like, I only started streaming 3 months ago, like my own stuff.
Oh man, you did that. You did
Yeah,
that.
yeah, but I hacked. I definitely did what is usually considered a Twitch faux pas, which was watch my stream on your stream.
Who says that?
I watched the Twitch etiquette thing. You're not supposed to. Well, you're not supposed to do it in chat. I didn't do it in chat.
No, I mean, I told you guys when we started this that you should all, whatever, to the degree that you're getting any kind of a boost at all from doing the show, I mean, you should be using it to promote your shit. That's like the thing.
I'm very much doing that, sir.
Right.
I don't even know what I'm making. I'm just putting runes in.
Alright, now I got here.
Do I even have to do this again? I gotta do it again. Is there a tech malfunction right now? Are you getting dropped frames?
No, I'm seeing you fine.
Okay, Redbeard just said tech malfunction. So I'm checking in.
Sometimes that's on the viewer's end, honestly.
Yeah. See, I had permission. Twitch is a brand new microcosm of the internet for me, and honestly, I am really enjoying it. I got lucky that I got a way in through, your audience, Greg. You already curated and kicked out a lot of jerks.
Oh yeah, I kick them out all the time.
Yep.
Get rid of those jerks.
Yep, we were all showed us offline for a second. Oh, that's no bueno.
I don't know, man. I'm not seeing any interruption on my end.
Interesting. Might need a refresh. It had some hiccups earlier. Yeah. Well, as soon as I can pay for higher bandwidth internet, that will be a thing I do. I also need.
If I may ask,
please.
What level of internet do you presently? What's your upload rate?
Oh man, I would have to do a speed test run. I know what I pay for, but what I get's totally different. I pay for I think 100 upload, 200 download. I'm supposed to have an awesome deal, but
No, you don't need to know that. It might be that your encoder settings, you need to not rely on a preset.
yeah, I may need to mess with my encoder settings. My machine is ancient. Like
Ari, I only have 35 megabit upload on my connection. I don't know if you heard that or not.
Yeah, no. I heard 35 megabit. I'm sorry. I was reading the chat. Iron Cud was saying it's almost always upload that causes that stuff. Well, I will look into it. Again, I am very much a neophyte, so I mean, if you go to the YouTube channel that I have, which is just, I'm not putting separate content up. It's just a repository of past streams. You can see my first stream. You can. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm sorry. Not to keep interrupting. The other thing I would say too, though, is that like at any given moment, you could have a momentary issue. If you're not having like predictable, repeatable issues on a regular basis, then I would say that a hiccup's a hiccup. You know.
Yeah. But if but like I said, I went on the Destiny 2 default, so maybe there is something I could tweak to make it a little better. We'll look into it. I'm not going to drive myself crazy about it. Yeah, no, I'm not. Honestly, it's been surprisingly easy to set all this stuff up.
I couldn't figure out why my camera was behaving in a way that I was like, nope, this doesn't look right, and then I realized it's not set correctly.
So how's the season planning for Cyberpunk going?
You know what? I'm at an interesting point here where I've got some overarching ideas that I want to do, but I think that my next move, and I'm behind on this admittedly, is to mine your characters' backgrounds.
Oh, please do. Oh.
Plot concepts. I ran a game, and you were in it years ago, of Dark Heresy.
Yep.
That I still recall as being sort of a high watermark for my DMing.
That was a really great game. It was a Dark Heresy game that turned into a Rogue Trader game.
Yeah. Well, and the reason it started out as Dark Heresy, the book wasn't.
Yeah. It was all that existed.
Yeah. I really like that game. I think that game does a lot of things really well. I don't know if it is. I don't know if I have the ability to go back into that world. Is so dark.
Right now we need it's too dark for right now, and the world and also, let's be honest, the wargaming community and 40K has a real right-wing problem. Like alt-right problem. There's like a lot of like Nazi fetishists who get off on the Space Marine stuff.
Yep. It's fair.
And I'm going the wrong way. Nope, I'm going the right way, and everybody was behind me. Am I going the right way? Who am I? This is a maze. It's literally a maze. I don't even know what the fuck I'm doing.
Honestly, I just sort of became sort of a weird hippie dude, and I don't know if I am as thrilled.
Who you're talking to?
In the years since I used to be really into Warhammer 40K, I don't know. I've become like a different peacenik hippie dude, and I don't know if I'm into.
You're a dad now, also. Yeah.
Sandbox in that world anymore. If that makes any sense.
I get it. I would still play it for the record. I like Dark and Morbid, but I completely understand.
I just got to think about like, what are we saying? What are we reinforcing? Like, what is this game ultimately about? And
it's about fascism.
What's that?
It's ultimately about fascism.
Yes, but the thing is, it presents the setting at large presents no alternative, and there is no redemption in that setting.
No, it's just dark. It's just dark.
It's just, and this is what would happen if Space Daddy God was your fascist dictator. It sucks. Like, there's, you know what I mean? Like, the heroes can't actually make that world better.
The best we were able to do is I kind of played Judge Dredd.
That's not great.
Right. And I was the closest thing that game had to a bad guy, and I killed one of our party members.
Oh, God, I totally forgot that Brian actually started out as a player in that game.
He got what was coming to him.
He did. He totally did.
I regret nothing.
You shouldn't. First shot. Getting rolling on my first shot right now.
Oh, here we go.
Hammer speeds. Robot go.
Everybody, we are listening to How to Drinking Get Made. We're listening to history. Keep your ears peeled. Paranoia. I'm not familiar with that game, Cud.
Dude, I want to run Paranoia.
You do?
I do. Or at least play it. It's definitely something that's on. That one and Delta Green, I consider them to be kind of
Oh,
related.
you've been talking about Delta Green for years. We should do Aberrant sometime.
I think Matt Colville did a Paranoia stream as a one-shot.
That would be awesome. Matt Colville's rad, but Aberrant would be fun sometime.
What I'm saying is, I think if you wanted to check Paranoia out, I think he did it on his stream.
I will. I like my dad. My dad's the one who got me into Matt Colville.
I don't think I am off in saying that Paranoia is basically Logan's Run, the role-playing game.
Oh, that's cool.
But with more comedy.
Steve Jackson. That's Steve Jackson. His games are fairly simple for the most part.
Now I have to add 2 ounces of tomato juice for this drink.
Greg, have you ever seen the old RPG Ars Magica?
You've told me about it for years.
Yeah, I really think you would dig that one.
The way you described it to me, though, I always felt like because you're playing as an organization as opposed to a person.
You're playing a person, but the person ages and then they die, and you have to play the next person. But it takes a long time.
Oh, okay.
It's not like Civilization.
Organization throughout the course of time.
You do, but basically, like, if you're lucky, one gameplay session will get you through one season of a year. Right? So, but the idea is that magical research takes time. So you're role-playing your character, and then you're going into your lab, and you're doing experiments, and then there are complications you have to deal with. Like, the locals are trying to burn your place down, or there's vampires, or a rival coven that you have to deal with. And, like, it's cool. And then you can also, you play more than one character, because you can have non-magical agents in the world that do stuff for you, and you can play them as well.
Was it made by White Wolf?
It was not made by White Wolf. I forget who made it.
Okay.
But it definitely has some of the same DNA as Mage the Awakening. It's a lot more crunchy than Mage the Awakening, though.
That somebody said that Ars Magica was a great companion to, like, a Tremere play.
Yeah. If you definitely want, like, a game... You know how you were really into, for Quome, you were really into components and making sure that I had them? If you're that type of player, Ars Magica is your game. Like...
Okay, cool, good to know. I was going to say, too, is that Paranoia sounds interesting. We ended up not doing it, but I do still want to run Baron. I want to run Munchausen on stream. I think that would be.
We'd have a lot of fun with that.
Mainly because it requires no desk.
Like right. It's all just improv, and you don't have to do any map building.
It seems like a great game to do on a stream, from a very low tech perspective.
I hear that. Like, I DM online, but I use pre-written adventures for the exact reason you get exhausted, which is making online maps is a bitch.
So I'm not making the maps anymore so much.
You're using a lot of prefabs?
Yeah, I subscribed to a couple of Patreon creators. And
that's smart.
But one of the things I was thinking about, and I was just talking about this on the Discord for Foundry VTT, is that I feel like switching to a VTT... and please, Ari, if at any point we're just totally derailed your show here, let me know.
No. Remember, you're the one who called my chat AM radio. We just talk about shit.
Right. Well, you don't have game stuff to jump in and talk.
No, I'll interrupt when I feel like it.
I do think you should treat your stream like it's radio. I think that's a good.
No, it wasn't an insult. He was teasing me for the record.
No, I think of radio rules. I think radio rules is how you should treat your stream. I've been rolling this entire time. That's a disaster.
Haha. My stream's on how to drink now.
Yeah, you're being hosted.
That's very nice of you.
I was saying that a lot of the thing with the streaming is that a lot of people are watching it as if it were radio. They have it in the corner, they're listening. But
I've discovered that. Yeah.
So like dead air is poison.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, what was I just saying? I forgot.
We were talking. I don't know. You were talking about tech stuff you were doing on how to drink, or you were also talking about other role-playing games. We were talking about that.
Yeah, I forget.
It was all cool stuff.
Good stuff. We were talking about game design on my stream last night. I ended up streaming.
Oh, you were talking about Foundry and pre-made maps. That's what we were talking about.
Foundry and pre-made maps. Yes, and so I was in the Foundry Discord and talking about, the one thing I've noticed about my gaming since I have switched to using a virtual tabletop is that I do have this, I am very reliant. I tend to over-rely accidentally without even realizing it on the map to tell the players what the scene is and not verbally describe it. And I got to stop doing that because, one, it's bad streaming. Because of the radio, right?
And it makes so much work for you.
So there's part of me that when I used to play at the table,
right?
I had a house rule that no, I don't use terrain or figures. I mean, you can have a figure for a recurring PC if you want one, but we didn't use terrain. We used wet erase boards and grids because I felt like using art like that or real maps and stuff like that really kind of became a limitation, right? And so there's a part of me. I'm thinking about maybe next stream, seeing how it goes if I just use grid maps.
I'm in. So for any new encounter that unplanned encounter that my players do, I have a couple of reusable stuff, but right. I use a blank battle map and I just draw outlines and put in the dynamic lighting on Roll20, which does line of sight and shit. And I'm like, guess what? It's time for your favorite random battle map, because if I wasn't provided for it, I'm streaming, I'm hustling to write enough articles to make rent. I don't got time.
Yeah, it's hard.
I love DMing. I absolutely love it. I also like being a player, it's a nice break, which is why I take great pleasure in giving you shit when you're DMing.
I'm in the same boat. I really like to play. I wish I could play more. I had the opportunity on the Foundry virtual. Tropos, who is the dev on Foundry VTT,
right?
He did a thing. He had me come on and do his Dragon Con talk. Was it Dragon Con? No.
Yeah. No, you went to PAX or Gen Con. Yeah. You were on Gen Con.
And it was just so good to be a player for a change.
Well, I was gonna say, Greg, if there was at any point, if we could figure out how to do it technologically, we could always reverse the tables for a little while, and I could DM if you needed a break.
No, it's actually quite easy to do that. It's not a technical problem at all. I mean, you just would have to learn Foundry really well, I think.
I really want to, so that doesn't really sound like a problem to me. But we could do that.
I've been working with Gerd de Foul, that's his handle on Discord, and he is the person who developed the CD. He's the person who developed the system that we are using within Foundry to play Cyberpunk originally, but it was built using the Jumpstart kit, which is a limited version of the rules, not very complete.
Hold on, I just want to talk to my my audience there for a sec. Yeah, Redbeard. The idea would be that we would reverse it, and Greg would be a player, and I would be the DM. And Cud, Paranoia does seem fun from what you have written, and I am a pretty diabolical DM. Whenever my friend Nate's on, who is Hammer Spaceman, of the many donations to your stream, Sir Gregory, he's one of my players in my D&D game, and he he can attest to just how fucking brutal I am. Um,
I was talking about a game I was in of yours last night, actually, because I was talking about how the first experience I had playing anything on a virtual tabletop was in your Wraith game.
oh yeah, which was back before it was even like easy to do. It was
No, it was not easy. But it was. I think that the one thing that was really cool about that was that it was the first time also that I had seen like. So Wraith actually, I think, works better on a virtual tabletop.
I agree. I agree.
Because all of a sudden, you can add this new mechanic to the game that's not possible at the table, where you don't know who's playing your shadow, and that was the coolest thing about that game. Also, it's very possible that Wraith is extremely obscure, and nobody in the chat knows.
So yeah, I'll explain real quick because it's one of my favorite one of my favorite White Wolf games. Aberrant's my favorite White Wolf game. So the people who made Vampire the Masquerade had a whole campaign setting called World of Darkness, and they covered every type of monster ever. And Wraith the Oblivion was their ghost story, and it was their version of like the afterlife and why are there ghosts. And it is the single most psychological and depressing role-playing game you will ever play, and it has one of the most diabolical mechanics ever, which is every ghost a wraith is being torn apart by their shadow, which is a manifestation of oblivion, or just entropy, that is bringing about the end of the world. The shadow is every negative aspect of your psyche in life, and it has literal mechanics. Like, it has its own character sheet, and one of the other party members in your party plays your shadow. So you play a ghost, and you play somebody's shadow, and it is your job to tempt and ultimately corrupt and destroy the wraith, make them fall to oblivion. And it's so good.
So the shadow has all these points that it can like tempt the player with.
Yep.
And so at any moment you could be in a really tough situation, and all of a sudden the shadow's like, "Hey,
you want some extra dice? Yeah.
Let me take the wheel for like a little while later on."
Yep.
And you're constantly being offered these devil's deals. But what was really cool about playing it your way was that normally you make your own shadow. I love that we didn't make our own shadow.
Nope.
We had no idea what our shadow was planning to do with our body if it took over.
That was the thing I did. That was the thing I did because we were playing online and it was mostly text-based. I decided to basically be the mediator for the ghosts, and I had all the players at random. I assigned them to other characters, and I had them roll the ghosts so that the players wouldn't know what their shadows were up to. They wouldn't know what their shadows could do. They didn't know their aims, they didn't know their archetypes, they didn't know anything. And I agree with Greg, I thought it made for a very interesting, yes, very Lovecraftian, it made for a very interesting game. And I thought that was, it got canceled early because it was very depressing and really a hard sell for people. But I think it was probably White Wolf's most articulate and emotionally mature game that they made. I thought it was a very rewarding experience overall. All right,
it was the first game that I ever ran as a DM, and I ran it so wrong.
Really?
Oh yeah, I didn't know.
D&D is what I ran 3rd edition first. Oh yeah, Werecat. Werecat's on a road trip, and she says, "Hello, Greg."
Hello, Werecat. How you been?
She's been one of my super loyal viewers. Finally made it to the hotel. Congratulations. All right, so I finished doing all the menagerie I needed to do, which allows me to do the interference mission, which is the story mission. So now we're gonna go do us some story mission. Which isn't, I mean, it's not that huge of a deal. Maybe I'll get the last piece of lore. That'll be cool. I like collecting the lore in this game. I also want to change... do I want to change builds, though? I could melt the boss this way. Yeah, I like my build. My build's good right now.
I'll tell you what, I got this thing called a super arm.
Is that like some sort of boom or camera mount?
Yeah, it's like a triple jointed articulating light mount. with a wheel in the middle so that I can unlock the whole thing. I have to go limp and then put it into a new position and lock
That
it.
sounds like you have like a robotic manufacturing arm.
It's not. I've actually looked into buying those. A little outside of the budget for having.
Oh, just a little outside.
Yeah, I think it was going to cost me like $3,000 a month for the next 6 years or something.
That what? Oh, muted. I'm so insulted, Werecat. She can't even hear how insulted I am. It's so polite that people announce when they're muting me. Like, Twitch etiquette is I like it.
That doesn't happen in my stream.
Well, you're also Mr. Big Shot. Like, you got a lot of people.
How many people are in here?
It's gone anywhere, I believe, from 17. Right now we have 11, it looks like. I was looking at the numbers and I jumped off a cliff and I died.
I'm thinking, well, I don't also too like don't think that like I had like a couple hundred people watching my streams from day one coming from YouTube. I had a lot of like months of doing streaming with like 10 and 11
Oh,
people.
I am legitimately stunned at the progress I've made. I thought I was going to be farting in the wind forever. The fact that I got people here in the first place, and I got to the point where I'm like in the affiliate process. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So
I don't think having a leg up hurts, to be honest, and you do have a small.
I definitely it's a good leg up. I think give yourself some credit, man.
Did you ever just talk about SVA for a second?
Oh yeah, sure.
Did you ever know Brennan Lee Mulligan back at SVA?
Of course, we're friends on Facebook and Twitter. We
Yeah,
had classes together. I think the three of us had classes together.
Do you know that he's like a very big D&D deal?
Yeah, he did. He ran College Humor's D&D stream before it got canned.
No, it's not canned.
Oh, I thought it got canned.
I
He
mean, maybe
also
it's
wrote
not
a
hard
really
enough.
great comic, single female hero or something like that.
No, his new thing is Dimension 20. He does
Well, I know
Twitch.
that's his new thing. Yeah.
The production values, dude.
Yeah, his set is crazy.
It's right up there with. I mean, like it must have a budget that's identical to.
I mean, he puts in the work. Brennan, like, even back in college, was just one of those guys you knew had a ridiculous amount of talent. If you are not aware, look up, his name is Brennan Lee Mulligan. He's a College Humor comedian, and he's a D&D nerd like us. He runs a stream, Dimension 20, and he writes comic books, and he's a really cool guy. I haven't spoken to him in ages, but we were friendly in college, and we were contemporaries, and he's a quality human being. So if you're looking for more stuff...
Yeah, I reached out to him on Twitter. He ignored me.
Oh, no. Well, he was a quality human being when I remembered him.
He's dead to me now.
He's dead to me. He does have fiery red hair. He's
Yep.
Brennan Lee Mulligan. If the name, like, you don't get much more Irish than that.
I guess his dad was like a big deal in stand-up as well.
His dad was a big deal in stand-up, and his mom was a no-joke comic book writer. Star Slip. Yeah, I think his mom's name is Katie Lee or something like that.
Really?
Yeah, his mom, both his parents were like really impressive, creative people.
I think you're confusing his. I mean, unless they have the identical
No,
names.
I'm not. His mom, no, I am
No,
not.
but Katie Lee was a girl we went to college with.
No, there was
so.
Katie Madonna Lee, but like,
Katie Madonna Lee.
but I think that might also be his mother's name.
Oh, okay. In her case, it was a completely assumed name.
Okay, yeah, no, I remember Katie Madonna. Well, I mean, technically I'm using a stage name also.
Oh.
Not the amazing Ari David. I'm doing the, look, it's the old Jewish trick of not sounding too Jewish. You can't do that in the media. It scares off the
Man.
Gentiles.
You never knew. Now it's out. They're gonna kick you out of the golf club.
I know.
You had, well, nobody
I
did.
was invited. I was invited to the country club, but then they found out my last name and I got uninvited. Which, yes, by the way, is a real thing that still happens.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Actually, I think Ari Ruben and I were talking about how he said he had to go to, when he was a kid, they had to go to the Jewish sailing club, and it sucked. It was not nice.
Yeah. There's still like I explain to people that being Jewish is a trip because it's an ethnicity and a religion, and your whiteness is completely subjective. It's entirely dependent on who you're talking to and what point they're trying to make.
Yep. That's true.
So, like,
I would also imagine it fades as you travel southward.
Yes, I would say right now in New York City, 99% of the time I'm a white guy.
Probably more than that, even.
I would say 99.999999999, like with infinity over it. I'm a white guy up here in New York. But yeah, if I start heading southerly, I'm a Jew with a capital J, and there's a little mustard behind it too, the way they're saying it. You know, put a little spice behind it. That's what I like to say. That's what I like to say when someone's saying something nasty. They put a little mustard behind it.
Is that something you made up?
No, I heard it on a cartoon show or something.
There's 3 places something like that expression would cover that. It's either a Jewish expression I missed. It sounds like it's not.
It's not.
Or I can imagine that being a thing.
It would be. That sounds like something that you could say in Yiddish.
Yep, it does. Or something that you would say down in Tennessee.
Yeah. But it's something I've picked up through pop culture osmosis that I like.
A little mustard.
Put a little mustard on it. Instead of saying it, instead of sounding like a bigot, yeah, I guess the safest way to describe being a Jew is you're off-white. I'm beige.
I gotta go pick up a drink umbrella from my stockpile. I'll be right back.
Okay. I like this. I like that he's making how to drink while I'm playing Destiny. This is a what? Connection error. Am I still streaming? Do you all still see me? Oh God. I gotta check. I'm gonna check what's going on here.
That's fine.
I'm still. I can hear you.
I'm back.
You're back. I got connection errored. I got booted.
Oh yeah, you are. Your stream might be out.
Nope. Juan confirmed he can still see me.
I might refresh myself. I would love to. It's a shame because you're using one thing I would say with, and I'm sure Slops is right, but you cannot send more than 6,000 kilobits per second to Twitch, and if you're on a variable bitrate encoder, it can easily spike over 6,000 kilobits a second, and it will kill your stream. And it used to do it to my stream all the time until I went to CBRs from VBR. You have to be on CBR at 6,000. No matter what you're sending, you should not be sending any more than CBR 6,000.
That is excellent advice, and I will I'll put that in. Thank you for the confirmations, everyone. Yeah, it doesn't look... It looks like I definitely had an internet fuck-up because I got booted from the story mission. Hopefully it saved a checkpoint and I don't have to do it all over again. But it doesn't look like my stream got quit.
No, you're live. I'm seeing you now.
Yeah, and I don't think it ever fully went offline. But yeah.
Anybody's wondering, I've just built a ruddy bottom.
Ready, bottom. Thank you, Cud. Appreciate it. I didn't change anything yet, but I will next stream. I will follow Greg's advice because that makes perfect sense. We used to, back in the day, before he was How to Drink Guy, we used to do everyone's the odd post-production gig together. So we were both. You're still video editing. I left it, but you're video editing your own shit, which is cool.
I'm just finishing work that Rachel does now, so she starts the edits and I finish them.
Who finishes them? I'm sorry, I blanked.
She starts them and I finish them.
No name.
Rachel.
Rachel. Got it. Sorry, I didn't hear the name at first.
And the only reason we work that way is the limitation of my ability to send files. I would love to have her do the whole thing. I would still do the commentary. So what happens is I upload the footage as a proxy to Rachel. She opens it and then does a quick pass edit. Then I go through and make notes, like very detailed notes, and then also write up all of the on-screen text you'll see.
And you're still using Premiere, right? This is all still on Premiere?
Yeah, it's all Premiere.
Cool.
And then she'll incorporate that and then kick the proxies and project file back to me where I have the masters.
Right, and you'll relink. Mm-hmm. That's cool. Well, that's good for her that she's only working on proxies.
Well, it makes it very viable to work with the internet. Otherwise, I think we'd have to be shipping hard drives. She's telling me that in October, she's going to get a ridiculously robust internet connection, that she's going to have 300 megabit.
Get the F out. That's awesome.
She's going to have 500 by 500, so 500 up, 500 down. If she actually gets that, I'm going to look very seriously into upgrading my connection to this.
And then see if you could set up like a good, file transfer thing.
Well, yeah, I was looking. The most I can get, but it's stupid expensive, is 2 gigabit up and down synchronous. That's the next step up from where I'm at. So I'm at 1 gigabit down, 35 megabit up. The next step is 2 gig synchronous, and but at that rate, on her 500, if that's our upper limit, we could transfer a whole episode in like 4 hours. That's pretty viable.
That's not bad, man.
Yeah, if it works out that way. Now I got to make a hunchback.
He's making a hunchback. Cut. Post-production is fun, and it's a very venerable and well-respected tradition. I completely burned the fuck out doing it. Like almost nervous breakdown.
Post-production is fun and venerable. That's interesting.
Look, I got a lot of respect. We got our buddy Jesse. I've done it for enough years in both, in various different arenas of the industry, and it's a legit line of work, and it's tough, and it's an important piece of putting the stuff we like together. It's actually the first part of the filmmaking process where you actually feel like you're making a movie, because what do you say?
I hate it. I hate every part of the process.
Now I do. I hate every single part of it. You couldn't make me edit now. I downgraded my Adobe account so I don't have Premiere, so people can't ask me to do it anymore.
I don't want to edit. I don't want to shoot. I don't want to do any of it.
I like writing and I like directing.
I want what you have. I want to play video games on Twitch.
I mean, I'm not making any money yet off this, Greg. I'm actually actively not earning money. I could be writing articles right now.
I'm not talking about the money. I want to. The other thing I want in that is to not need money. Both of those.
You just want How to Drink to do well enough that you get rich and you can sit on your ass and play video games all day. You just play Fallout 2 for the rest of your life on loop.
No, I've played Fallout 2 so many times. I don't know that I actually.
You played it at least a dozen times in the 4 years we were in college together.
Oh, easily. It's amazing to me how many times I've beaten that game and yet have not memorized entire dialogue loops.
I have entire dialogue loops from certain games that haunt me. The original Baldur's Gate, I have stuff that Minsk, the brain-damaged Russian Ranger, I have his lines playing in my head forever.
You know whose dialogue I do have playing in my head forever?
Ari's?
Did you ever play Return to Zork?
No. A little before my time.
Yeah, so Return to Zork is the first 3D Zork game. So it's not text-based. You meet a guy in it named Wooz. No, is it Wooz? Wooz is actually a character from Fallout 2. I forget his name, but he's like the town drunk. And you have to get him drunk and steal from him. And I just remember the toast. Who's like us? Damn few. Where they at? They're all dead.
All right, That's awesome. Just gonna address my chat for a quick sec. Oh yeah. Well, one of them has a question for you, Greg, which is, are you working on a How to Drink book yet?
No.
There's your answer, Cud. And Artistic Juan. That is the general sentiment. I think I've said it before in this Twitch stream, but I'm with you. I just want the Star Trek future. Can we have that future? That would be a better future than the one we're heading towards.
Which Star Trek future?
Next gen.
Mm-hmm.
Next gen DS9 era.
Okay.
Why? What do you want? Do you want...
Well, no, I just think that the J.J. Abrams one is pretty dystopian, actually.
The J.J. Abrams one is not Star Trek. It's an action movie with Starfleet uniforms.
Good answer.
He didn't even want to make it. He admitted he doesn't even like Star Trek. He wanted to do Star Wars. He did Star Trek to prove that he could do Star Wars. That is also true.
I haven't seen the third Star Wars movie.
There is no third Star Wars movie. They only made The Last Jedi, and then they stopped.
So that's interesting, because I've heard a lot of people have problems with The Last Jedi. That's the one Rian Johnson did, right?
I have some problems with it, but,
like, Rian Johnson really fucked it up, and...
he decided to get a little dark with it, and people didn't like that Luke didn't have a happy life. That's mostly what it was. People got upset that Luke was cynical.
Oh.
And that's the base of it. That, and people are sexist and racist.
I thought that Boyega just said that Rian Johnson doesn't know how to write black people, and basically...
Well, he didn't do anything. Like, I would agree, one of my problems with that movie is he wasted Finn. Finn did nothing.
So, I have to say, I have a problem with the entire conception of Finn in the first one, which is that it actually removed... The way that they handled... they decided, hey...
Yeah, Kelvin timeline sucks, Juan.
I'm a stormtrooper because I was abducted as a baby and raised to be a stormtrooper. That removes all agency from that character in such a way that I really don't like. Like, it removes all potential interesting anything you could have done with the character.
It also is very different from how stormtroopers have functioned in the rest of Star Wars lore, which is if you weren't a clone, you voluntarily joined. Right.
And I think that that's so much more interesting, too, in that, like, I think that the arc for him, the potential arc there of, oh my god,
I'm on the wrong side.
Like, realizing that I enlisted in something that is bullshit. Probably a little too real for the Star Wars audience and Disney in general.
They skirted it with the Solo movie, because Han Solo was in the Empire for a hot second.
I didn't see the Solo thing.
It's halfway decent. I would say... So, artistic simplicity, you're right. The Last Jedi was the last Star Wars movie. Unless they're force sensitive due to being Lando's illegitimate children. That's half the galaxy there is Lando's illegitimate children, I am Cud. No. Billy D. Williams slept his way across the galaxy, and so did Donald Glover. Donald Glover does a great job as young Lando, by the way.
Sure.
I actually liked Rogue One. I thought that was probably, out of all the new Star Wars movies that they made, Rogue One was, like, solid.
I gather that it is. This is not a besmirching of the film. I fell asleep while watching it. So
no, I mean, I hear you. I hear you. I thought it was really good. And, where was I going to go with it? I forget. I liked it. You watched the Mandalorian Season 2 trailer yet? Internet?
No. I didn't.
Oh, I did. It's exciting. I'm excited.
Did you like Mandalorian?
I did.
Did you like it without exception?
No.
Okay, good. What didn't you like?
A couple of the episodes meandered plot-wise and didn't do anything.
So we were talking about this on my stream last night. I think that the low point in the series for me is the prison ship episode.
Really? That's my favorite one. The low point for me is Tatooine.
Other people said that as
well. Good call, I am Cud. Get nervous about trailers. trailer companies have stopped learning how to tease a movie, and instead they just summarize it in the trailer.
Yeah, I don't know. I really objected to the Twilight. Like, I just thought that the characters, the way that they were written on this prison barge episode, were garish cartoons. Like, I was like, what? Like, I felt like I was watching a set. Like, I honestly, it reminded me of 1960s Batman show.
That didn't do that for me. I love that episode. I thought it was like a chance to see Mando before he had scruples, trying to deal like who he dealt with back then. I enjoyed it. I hated the I didn't hate, but I didn't like the Tatooine episode because it traded too much on nostalgia. It was like, huh? Remember this set? Huh? Remember that's the table Han sat in. Like it was just fan service, and it wasn't anything substantive. And that bothered me. That was the episode that bothered me. However, the show made brilliant use of both Werner Herzog and Carl Weathers, so...
I feel like I was promised more Herzog. I don't think I got as much Herzog as I thought I was going to get.
Yeah, but we did get Herzog go, I would like to see the baby. Which we can now quote forever.
I love that, supposedly, and I don't know if this is just Herzog mythologizing or for real, but that there was talk on set about replacing...
No, this is real. This is Jon Favreau told this story. Everyone tells this story. Yeah, they were gonna CGI the baby and not make a puppet, and Werner Herzog berated Jon Favreau and Taika Waititi, and he was like, "You are cowards if you do not use a puppet." He called them cowards, and so they made the puppet.
Herzog has a very strange kind of career arc because, like,
yeah, he does.
Has this weird identity as this like very like he is.
Well, he invented Dogma '95. He was fucking crazy.
He invented Dogma?
I was involved in it at least.
Okay, I didn't know that was his thing. I was just gonna say that like he basically is playing the character of Werner von Stroheim.
Yes.
As like this crazy German, like absolutist lunatic director, but like he is a man from LA. He has lived in LA basically his entire.
Oh yeah, no. He hasn't left America. He hasn't like lived outside of America in a very long time.
Nothing really wrong with that. I just think it's very interesting. I think at this point he's just like there's money in pretending to be me.
Oh, he is definitely playing a joke on all of us. He's having the best time.
No question.
But my God, Carl Weathers. They brought Carl Weathers back.
Back?
Yeah, well, what was he in?
Oh, he wasn't in anything in Star Wars.
No, but he wasn't in a lot of other stuff either, besides, like, cameoing in, like, shows. What was the last thing he had, like, a real big recurring character on?
Recurring, he was on Arrested Development as Carl Weathers.
Okay, but that was, like, 2-3 episodes. Like... Yep. He's a major supporting character in Mando.
He is also Combat Carl whenever they need Combat Carl in what do you call that? The Toy Story stuff. So I'm familiar with him in his work there because I have a small. All
right, fair. All right, he's been doing it. He's been doing some stuff, but like he's back on screen, front and center. As head bounty hunter guy, whose name escapes me at the moment, but he was fun.
Do you think that when things are looking grim for Carl Weathers, he squares himself up, gets his shoulders straight, back, looks himself in the eye in the mirror, and says, "Carl Weathers, you're gonna weather this," and then like snaps his fingers and points?
Oh my God! Can you save the dad jokes for your daughter?
Do you think he does that? I think he does that.
Chicago Justice? Okay, thanks, Juan. He was in Chicago Justice. That's a Dick Wolf show. Alright. Props to Carl Weathers. No, I feel like he looks himself in the mirror and goes, "I'm Apollo Creed, motherfucker." Because that's what I would do if I was Apollo Creed.
Did you see that Sylvester Stallone is re-releasing Rocky IV, his director's cut?
No!
It wasn't something that existed before. He's decided that he needs one, and he's working on it.
Well, he saw how well the Snyder Cut did and said, it's now time for the Sylvester Cut.
People were
It's the
asking
Sly
about it on
Cut.
Twitter, and they were like, "Oh my God, please don't take the robot out." And he was telling them, like, "No, I've decided I don't like the robot. Robot's coming out of the movie."
No! It's the basis for the Venture Brothers joke, Robobo.
Oh. I don't know Robobo.
Billy White and, Billy Quizboy and Pete White, the albino and the encephalitic guy, they eventually strike it rich, and they get a robot that is basically the Rocky robot, but he's painted to look like Bo Duke from the Dukes of Hazzard, so they call him Robobo.
Oh, terrible.
It is bad.
Alright. Load.
By the way, you have been universally reviled for your dad joke, your Carl Weathers dad joke.
Tough.
Yeah.
Cowards! If they can't handle the dad joke.
Have you gotten far enough in Venture Brothers that you've met Dr. Henry Killinger?
No.
Okay. I need you to meet Dr. Henry Killinger. They turned Dr. Henry Kissinger into a supervillain who's basically Mary Poppins.
Did you watch Freakazoid as a kid?
Abso-fucking-lutely I did.
Why was Henry Kissinger on that show all the time?
Because there was a mandate for those Spielberg shows to make Steven Spielberg laugh.
Oh.
So they weren't actually making those cartoon shows for him. Warner Brothers Animation, Tiny Toons, Animaniacs, even Batman the Animated Series only happened to entertain Steven Spielberg. Because it was the 90s and he had just made Jurassic Park and was at the height of his power. And
That's some real power.
Yeah, he went to Warner Brothers and said, "You guys need to be making cartoons again." And they go, okay. Yes, for real, that is what happened. There's a whole documentary about how Batman the Animated Series got made, and the executive producer, Jeanette McCurdy, who was also the head of Warner Animation, talks about how Steven just was like, yeah, so we're starting a new studio and I want you to head it. And cool. This is what we're doing. And then at one point, Batman floated across her desk, and she had no idea what to do with it. And she, did this glitch again? No, there's a guy I gotta kill that I missed. There's someone on this map that is hiding from me. Are they caught in a wall or something?
Oh, I had to step out, but you kept talking, which is fine.
That's fine.
It's fine. You got a bottle over somewhere.
Oh my god, I'm glitching out on this quest again? First it was connection errors, and now I'm gonna die real quick and see if that helps anything.
Maybe it's the quest, it's all buggy.
Maybe, but I've been doing it once a week, every week, so it shouldn't be doing this to me. It looks like one of the AI got caught in the geometry.
Doesn't that get... That's the thing about MMOs. Well, that's one of many things. It's like just doing that same quest over and over.
So it would have not been as... I kind of see him now. I kind of saw that dude. I saw... Damn it. See, there he is. You son of a bitch. Can I super him from here? Huh? Got him. I think. I got part of him. Enough that I'm triggering stuff, I think. Witherhorde just bounces, man. I'm trying to kill this dude. I'll get him. Even if I have to wait for my super to recharge, I'll get him. Yeah, oh god, he's an orange bar too. Which means he's like a higher up. So Destiny does something interesting. There's a meta-narrative about the repetition of the quests. Yeah, the idea is that we are paracausal entities that are trying to break free of a cycle that invariably leads to our destruction. And that Guardians are able to work outside of probability, and that we're hoping that one time when we repeat one of these myriad of activities, it will be the right version that will get us out of the hellhole we're in.
Wow, so this has got some deep stuff going on.
Yeah, the respawn mechanic in the game, like, a Guardian is basically a corpse that was involuntarily resurrected with no memory of its past life, granted magical powers, and is forced to both safeguard the human race and this alien intelligence called the Traveler, which visited the human race and is kind of like paralyzed over Earth. And it's using its power to resurrect people and give them magic. And the Traveler is initially presented as this very benevolent figure, but storylines are worked in that, like, it was trying to ditch humanity, and that all our
mall without any way to get home.
Well, more like it dragged its abusive ex to your doorstep and left it there to smack the shit out of you while it ran out the window.
Oh man.
Kind of more that. All right, later, Cud. I don't know how long you put that message up, but later, buddy. Thanks for stopping by. I am literally... I'm going to shred guitar until my super. My super's the only thing that can get through this glitch, and I have to kill that knight. And I am not replaying this whole quest again. So we're just going to shred some sweet air guitar. And wait. And we'll chat during that. But Destiny, yeah, so when you die and get respawned, it's happening to your character. Which means you are dying over and over and over and over again. For a war without end, across multiple realities and causalities, with no clear finish. It gets pretty bleak. It's actually pretty grimdark, but it's all bright colors, and they present it on the outside as this very... They fixed it. The game realized that they were jerks, and they just popped them out. There you go. Now I can finish the boss up. You know, guitars can be weapons. I don't know if anybody's played Devil May Cry 3, but my favorite weapon in that game was Dante's electric guitar that killed people by summoning vampire bats. He just...
Played the first one.
Yeah, they only get sillier. It's incredibly Japanese. Like... It's ridiculous. I like them, though. But, like, you also gotta be the type of person that likes Final Fantasy games, which I know is, like, not you.
That is not me.
No. If you do not have complete agency, why play? But yeah, I don't know. I guess, Greg, the real reason this is an MMO game that also does Diablo stuff. Like looter shooter, so it does that really satisfactory Skinner box, click button, make numbers go higher. And it's also a first-person shooter, so I don't also have to, like, play a Call of Duty. I get all my fixes. It's like, I call it the kitchen sink of video games. Like, you know, all that in the kitchen sink. That's why that's what Destiny is. And if I'm too old...
Play Warzone sometime. We could do that. That'd be cool.
What, which game? Call of Duty Warzone? Yeah, I'll get that installed. We can do that. I am going to be doing more games. That's part of my...
How bad is your computer, man? Because it seems like you're doing fine. Like,
it's not bad. It's just old. Like... It's very old. You would be shocked. It's like a 6 or 7 year old computer, but at the time I built it, it was like a top of the line gaming PC.
Right, yeah.
So it has a lot of legs. That's all.
It's a lot of legs.
You know? Like this thing's got legs, it'll last a while.
Okay. Gotcha. Yeah, I'm not familiar with that usage of that expression.
Boy, I must talk like an old-timey person or something.
I'll tell you what. The other day. I was down at the 5 and 10, and I saw a couple of the agents of the Kaiser there, so I tied an onion to my, as was the fashion.
Agents of the Kaiser.
And I was looking to put a couple of nickels of gas into my my hot rod there. And that's the end of this ramble. I got nothing. That's it.
Yeah, that was it. That was it. I let you dig your own grave there, pal.
I was doing some Grandpa Simpson stuff there.
I love Grandpa Simpson. Good old Abe.
Yes. Yeah, we were talking about player agency last night. I think that player agency is super important in a role-playing game, personally.
I would tend to agree. If I'm being told a really cool story, I tend to relax a little about it. But the narrative has to be really good for me to play anything like a Final Fantasy, a narrative linear RPG. But I tend to like player agency in my stuff too.
I was talking about this last night with my stream about how, like, if, I was talking about why I'm so adamant about all of the stuff about how the setting works really adding up. Like, well, how do people eat? Why would not everybody be an adventurer in that setting? You know what I mean? Like that.
Well, no, I loved it. I thought Quome was like, it felt real. I mean, we had so much player agency, we derailed your plans.
Right, as you should, as that should.
As every good group should. All of the DM's plans are laid to waste. That always happens.
What I was trying to explain, I think that what I came to was like, look, if there's a lot of hand waving in your setting, if the things aren't adding up, then it doesn't. I feel the hand of the writer putting it back onto the rails as we're playing. I no longer feel like my character or I am achieving anything. I feel like the DM is allowing me this moment. Like that, it's like, okay, now the DM says I'm allowed to do this.
I agree. As far as tabletop RPGs go, I'm 1,000,000% with you. The way I describe it to my players is, I will never put you into a situation that you cannot get yourselves out of. But the getting out of doesn't necessarily mean combat. It might mean running away. It is up to you as a player to figure that out. I'm not going to hold your hand. And so I let them shape the narrative that way. And the Tomb of Annihilation campaign, which I'm running, heavily modified, it's a huge sandbox. You get an entire peninsula in Farron to go over, and it's a hex crawl.
I remember when we were playing, not you, but when, not to...
No, you're good, go.
I was thinking about this today, too, and it was like, I was in this long-running Vampire the Masquerade Dark Ages Transylvania Chronicles playthrough, run by Brian, and whenever you wanted to do any major plot thing...
I remember this.
In your game, you had to, like, negotiate with Brian. And, I was like, well, I'd like to have my retainer go do this. And he would come and say, like, I still think it's time for that in the story, but we'll get to that. Like that kind of stuff.
But I hate that shit.
I was like, all right, man, I'm out. Like, I don't want to play this game anymore.
I hate that shit. I let my players go where they want to go. Even if that means, like, abandoning entire plot threads. What I do is I make them pay for their consequences. If they left the town in danger, then the next time they come back to the town, it's burnt to the funky ground. Like, right. But that's player agency.
I agree with that. Absolutely.
Yeah. And you definitely let us do so much of that. I felt like I was worried at times that I was, like, completely derailing the game as...
I kept telling you, like, no, this is fine.
As Aelith. Well, I was playing the Charlie Kelly character, the wild card, bitches. Like, Aelith was the X Factor. So, like, there's you can overplay that hand very easily and be annoying. So it was like finding the right balance of how much do I play the disruptive weirdo, and how much do I let the game be the game.
I'm just gonna tell a quick story. I just finished building the Hunchback cocktail.
Yeah.
I don't like ketchup, and it is just being in the room with this thing is making me nauseous.
Why? Why are you... He texted me. Sometimes when Greg's coming up with ideas, he reaches out to his friends, and he asks. So he asked me about doing Docktails, and I very explicitly told him, yeah, he said it's going to be part of his cursed cocktails, is what he said. But I was like, don't do that.
Yeah.
I was like, don't drink them. They're awful. Like, I hear them and I retch.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah, this was worse than cursed cocktails.
Like, he asks for some truly inhuman things to be mixed together. Like,
Yeah.
no person should be drinking those things.
Nobody should be doing this. You're right. And yeah. You know why I do it, Ari?
For the clicks?
I did it all for the nookie. The nookie.
My favorite part of Twitch is that when someone subscribes to your channel, they can use your emotes on any channel.
Yes.
And because your viewership is my primary viewership, every single one of my streams is littered with your face. Which I'm sure was your plan. Yeah.
You've caught on to my clever ruse, Ari.
I am now promoting for you.
No. It's actually not even that. This entire operation, the entire How to Drink operation, was merely a ploy to surround your day-to-day life with my face.
I am your reality now.
Yes.
Soon this shall make me a god.
You watching the Lovecraft Country?
No, that's top of my list though. Jasmine and I were talking about it.
Wow.
Last night. No, I have so many things I'm covering for like CBR, and then there's so many hours in the day.
By the way, did Halsorian ever get back to you about that? 'Cause I mean,
so they never directly got back to me. Like I emailed them, and the guy that the contact you gave me is the guy who heads their social media. His name's Jay. He didn't reply to me, but they put out a statement, like a blanket statement, being like, "Hey, there's no concrete release date right now because of COVID."
That's true.
So as soon as possible. So I assume that when they announce a release date, they'll start doing review copies, and when that happens, I'm gonna reach out again.
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised that they wouldn't just say like that you could do I guess you could do an unofficial review based on your current experiences.
I mean, I'm overdue for a follow-up email. Oh my God, Cud, that is nightmarish. Friggin'. He just put a bunch of bulging eyes into as emotes into my stream.
Oh, neato.
Let's make it weird, people.
Yeah, I'm curious about your opinion on the Lovecraft Country.
Well, first off, without even watching it, the cultural subversion by making it a racial thing is perfect, and Lovecraft deserves that. Like, H.P. Lovecraft is rolling in his grave over that show, and I couldn't be happier. Like, I love his writing, but fuck that guy.
But do I want to start at the beginning? Sure.
Do I want to start beginning?
My software was asking me a question.
I'd like to start starting as well.
I have to set the keyframes for every move. I have to program the move. I have to trigger the move. I have to record on the camera. I have to be the hand model. Like every step of this is a big process.
You poor thing.
Well, I'm not complaining.
Yeah, I know. I just like giving you shit. You worked hard. You worked really hard to get to where you're at. Oh man. There's a lot of Lovecraft talk this one. I'm sure I've shared the story of how Greg and I met, and the night we actually became friends, he stopped me on a crosswalk in between on 3rd Avenue, spun me around and said, "Your God is false because my God has tentacles." shouted it into my face. And Greg's
That's a little not just work.
you were considerably taller than me too. I mean, it was intimidating. But I was like, all right. Like that was a moment where I was like, all right, we can be friends. I get this, man.
I feel like before that I had kind of just picked you out of the lineup too and said, "Hey, you look like a nerd. You my people?"
Well, what had happened was we were so Lauren Villafane had said we should all go out to dinner, and we did.
All right. Got it.
And our entire production class went out to dinner. You and I were seated diagonally across from each other, and I made an oblique joke about vampires, and you looked at me and said, "Have you ever played the Vampire the Masquerade?" And my response was, "I just finished the Transylvania Chronicles," and you gestured back and forth between us and said, "You and I are friends now."
That's fine. Yes, that's exactly right.
But what had preceded that was a week of classes where we kept seeing each other and thinking we were assholes.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, we definitely had every class together freshman year, and I kept being like, who's this crazy guy? What the fuck is he saying?
Everybody said that about me at school. I have to, I just screwed up. I poured this thing in the wrong order. I gotta go clean this glass. I'll be right back.
He'll be right back. But there you go. Some Gregstery. I have Darkest Dungeon I Am Cud. It's like, it's in my Steam library, which means it'll get played anytime between now and never. Let's be honest, people. Everybody has too much in their Steam library. And I'm playing this half the fucking time. I'm glad we're your people. I've been feeling that this stream, Artistic. It's been really nice getting to know everybody out here in the Twitch world. And y'all are some cool people. It's definitely, the response I've gotten from everybody who watches and communicates in the chat has been a big part of why I was like, oh, maybe I will keep doing this. Shut up, Nate. Thank you, Nate. I love you, Nate. You're my favorite. Hammer Spaceman, everybody. The guy who gives out all the subs on Greg's channel, and watch him be super stingy when subs start happening on my channel. Oh, don't shut up. Please talk again. I love you, Nate. I've known Nate longer than I've known Greg. I've known Nate since I was 16. He and I go way the hell back. Hammer Spaceman is my dude.
Hi, dude.
Yeah.
You just caught yourself a sweet how to drink burp.
Awesome.
You just got jammed.
As I like how we're listening to the making of How to Drink right now. It's the best behind the scenes ever.
I gotta fill this glass halfway up with Kahlua now.
Nate, so Greg is making all of Doc Venture's shitty cocktails from the Venture Brothers.
Three of them.
He's picked 3 of them. Yeah, I don't think you could survive making all of them. You might lose any sense of like palate.
No, there's only 3 that have any kind of like information about what they are. So there's 6 that show up in the show, and they are the Hunchback, the oh god, whatever. The ones that they don't give you like any kind of description for is the Hot Mummy. There's no instructions.
No instructions on the Hot Mummy. Okay, that could be tasty for all we know.
The Slim Jim Fizz, which is probably a slow gin fizz garnished with a
Slim Jim in it. Oh no,
that
is the worst.
Like, well, it's just a Slim Jim, so.
But that's also a terrible idea.
Yeah, it's just that there's not much to it, right?
Right.
Then there's the Hunchback, which I made already.
Oh, reading Dune. Yes. Greg, I know you don't like the book Dune, but part of my stream has become an unofficial Dune book club.
That's cool.
Greg once told me of Dune that it was some fucking neckbeard's fantasy.
Look, man, I got problems with Dune. All right, I recognize that Dune is a important.
Look, there are problems with it. I'll be the first one to tell you.
I was talking about Dune last night because my stream asked me to watch the trailer.
Mistake. Don't ask him.
Why?
Because you probably were going to be like, I don't want to see this.
No, we watched it, and then I talked about it. I'm not that, man, I'm mellowed out a lot. But what I was going to say was that I'm interested. I trust Denis Villeneuve. Villeneuve. I can't pronounce his name.
Villeneuve.
I like Villeneuve. That's the way I would do it. But
yes.
So I guess my problem with Dune is that, and I don't think this is like, I don't think anybody would disagree with this. It doesn't feel like they're real people to me. It feels like these are weird gestalts.
But that's exactly what they are.
They're not talking so much to each other. They're talking into the air around each other, like Shakespearean, like archetypes or something. I don't know. And it just like it was like, oh, this is not. I'm not into this. Like it just wasn't for me.
That's fair. I love Dune for the philosophical stuff. I love Dune for the weird sci-fi elements. For everyone who has said, oh, I can't get through it, or I'm not going to try and read it again, all valid. Like, it is a very dense read. It is more philosophy than it is action. And it's not less people talking and monologuing. It's interior thoughts. There's a lot of italics, which are meant to be people's thoughts. So you spend most of Dune inside people's heads, as opposed to listening to them communicate, which is kind of.
I like the way he described Muad'Dib's confusion between what is prophecy, what is memory, and what is actually happening now.
What do you mean? I'm sorry. Repeat that.
Oh, I liked that the way that like they describe that.
That's the stuff I'm into. I now that you liked the way that he describes prescience.
Yeah, like not understanding the difference between past, present, and future anymore, just being kind of broken.
Yeah.
So that was neat.
Well, that's fair, Werecat. It's definitely an acquired taste. I am such a nut for Dune that I don't collect many things. I have multiple different editions of Dune. Hold on, I'm gonna go show off.
When you lean forward, Ari.
Yeah. Do you see down my shirt?
No, I didn't look. I can't see. All I know is I heard your relationship to the mic change, and it changed to where you should be.
Oh, like right here?
Oh my god, dude, that's so sexy.
Yeah. I need a slightly longer mic arm.
Your fans are gonna love that. Be there.
I have to sit over here. But yeah. So actually, Chris Bradley got this for me for editing his short film. This is an almost first edition of Dune. This is the book club edition. So back in the 60s, like Columbia Record House, people would subscribe to book clubs and get sent books. So this is a slightly different printing. The only difference between this and an original edition of Dune is that when I take off the slipcover, the binding's red. Oh, I can do ASMR? I always thought I had a very strange nasally voice, but cool.
I'm not joking, Ari. You should, when you're done, drop a mark on this part of your stream, and after you're done, come back and check it out, because the sound difference in your voice, you're so much bassier when you change your mic placement. I
really got to figure out, because so the arm you sent me, I just can't get it forward enough.
Okay.
So that's basically my limit.
Rest of the tip for you.
Yeah, because this is like, this is about as close as I can possibly make it without leaning in awkwardly.
Check out Epos Fox too, because he'll talk about like mic placement. He has a lot of videos about mic placement, and I think that one of the things that I'm guilty of it. Everybody's guilty of it. Nobody wants to have their mic in the shot, but like most of these microphones, like you're almost supposed to be against your mouth.
I know, I get that. It's my desk. Like, so this thing has to be like tightened on, torqued on, right? There's nowhere else I can put it except the edge of my desk.
Yeah.
because of my keyboard tray.
Yeah.
And so it's like 6 inches further to the right.
Got it.
Oh, dear Lord, please don't. Nate doesn't want me to do sexy voice. I gotta do sexy voice now. Nate, our next DM session, next time we play Tomb of Annihilation, Tomb's gonna be real chill.
Ari, it's insane. It's 100% night and day difference. It is exactly where your mic should be. It's very, I mean, maybe it's a little bit much, but that's radio versus film production. It's a completely different sound.
I'll work on it. I'm honestly, like, really, I will try to find a better way to mount the mic so that it's
I'm just saying
closer.
you should also go watch this part of the video.
I will. It's towards the end of it, so.
Okay, good to know. We're getting done.
Towards the last 10 minutes. I'm on till 5, and the lady friend has put in a request to talk to me. I don't know why. That's weird. Hopefully she has her noise canceling headphones on in the other room and isn't hearing me try. The book. Okay, Werecat. Yes, I Am Cut is correct. So Dune is a minefield. It's a big franchise. The reason being, Frank Herbert, while he was alive, wrote 6 books. He was planning the finale, the 7th, but he unfortunately passed away shortly after the David Lynch movie came out, actually. His son, however, Brian Herbert became the, head of the estate, and he went in his father's footsteps, and initially he co-wrote with this guy Kevin J. Anderson, and now he writes himself, although there are rumors of him having a ghostwriter and so forth, but he's written a million prequels and sequels to Dune. He even went back to his dad's notes and turned what would have been Dune 7, the last Frank Herbert book, into two books, because why make one when you can make 2? But he is also the guy that let Denis Villeneuve make this adaptation. So that's cool.
Him.
Yes.
He didn't get paid.
Yeah. The Brian Herbert's family controlled the movie rights for a long time.
You're saying he didn't get paid.
Oh, yeah, but I mean, he's definitely getting paid out the wazoo. But but people have been trying to make Dune again for at least the last 10 years since we were in college, easily. Werecat, I would follow I Am Cud's advice, and start with Dune Messiah. I would really read Dune Messiah. If you're going to read any other Dune book besides the first one, Dune Messiah, because it is the actual ending to Dune. Fun fact, I'm going to say this while we look at my vault. I'm sorry, I'm not playing Destiny at the moment, but we're talking about Dune. Fun fact, Frank Herbert, maybe I'll switch to my Just Look at Me camera. There we go, now you're just looking at me and it's less weird that I'm not playing the game. So, Dune's long. If you look at the book, it's got appendices, it's got a glossary in the back. There's a reason people are rolling their eyes at oh my god, Dune. It is a challenge. But the book itself is sectioned often into 3 parts, like Book 1, Dune, Book 2, the Muad'Dib, Book 3, the Prophet. Well, there was supposed to be a Book 4 called Messiah, and what happened was he got to the end of Book 3, saw how long his book was, and was like, no one's going to read a 1,000-page novel. He didn't know. He didn't see George R.R. Martin. He couldn't look into the future. He was not prescient.
That's fine. He might have been right, though, too.
He was right. He was also right because the end of book 3, i.e. the end of the first novel, is what he called the Hollywood ending. And it doesn't actually get the message of Dune across. You have to read Dune Messiah, and it's the shortest Dune book. It's significantly shorter than any other Dune book because it's not actually a sequel. It's the last part of the first novel. And it's the end of Paul's story. Like, after Dune Messiah, it moves on from Paul and starts doing other stuff. And I would read Frank Herbert's books in publication order, and then if you're let me put it this way: if you get to the end of the third book, Children of Dune, and you aren't completely confused or weirded out, if you aren't completely like, that just got too bizarre for me, because it does take a crazy fucking left turn at the end of the third book. Read the rest of the series, because actually after the first novel, my favorite books in the series are the fourth and the fifth: God Emperor of Dune and Heretics of Dune. They're great. They're really cool books. But you got to be ready to put your head in some really strange places. And Cud, you are right. It is so important. Dune Messiah really gives context to everything, because no adaptation of Dune has gotten right the fact that